What's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new story. The name of the story is What If Naruto Was Blessed and Changed the Whole Elemental Nations. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted story. Now before continuing this, shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to Mr. Scruffy Wannabe for suggesting this idea. Now before continuing this, sorry for not uploading yesterday. It was because, well, I got sick, as you guys can probably hear from my voice. Yeah, and moving onwards, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and please do leave in the comment section your ideas and your lovely comments. I just love reading those, and yeah, they give me a lot of motivation and ideas to work on. Anyways, without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins 5 years after the Kyuubi attack in Konohagakure no Sato. As we go towards the Uzumaki Namikaze household to see that Kushina Uzumaki was currently busy training two of her three children, Menma and Mito, as both of the redheads contained the Kyuubi no Yoko, which increased their chakra pools tenfold, and to make sure that they were able to control it completely and not face what she had to go through in her early days as a Konoichi, she began their training early on, just at the age of 4. As she was currently teaching them how to do basic taijutsu katas, while also making sure that her third child, her youngest baby boy Naruto Uzumaki, was okay as well, as he was currently engrossed in his own world, as he couldn't use chakra because of his damaged coils at birth, so he found a new hobby, which was reading. And thankfully enough, he also had Minato's traits of being calm and collective one, and also, well, a genius in his own right. As Kushina most of the time, when looked at him in this way, and when looked back at Menma and Mito, would feel guilty, all because of that accursed night, because of that accursed thing that happened. As now we have a flashback, as we see 5 years ago, at the night of the Kyuubi attack, the Kyuubi, while being ripped out of her, left a huge impact on Naruto, because he was the last child that was born. And while he was being born, the masked person attacked, while her husband was busy saving the other two that has been born. Biwako-sama fought off the masked person who was trying his best to free the Kyuubi from the giving birth woman, as she was helping Kushina to give the birth to Naruto. It was the most painful and the most, well, critical day in her life, but she thanked God that she pulled through, but not before Naruto's chakra coils were damaged, because of the exposure to Kyuubi's chakra, which was leaking way too much because of the weakened state of the seal. As now we see, she was brought out of her thoughts and back to the present with a hand that was placed on her shoulders. As her eyes widened, "Oh, Minato, you're here. I didn't notice you come in. I've been calling you for the past 2 minutes, Kushina." As Kushina noticed that her children has gotten up and were looking at her worried. Even Naruto was there. "Kajan, is everything alright?" said Menma. "Everything is fine." "What is it, Minato?" "We were hoping that, we get some Ichiraku ramen. Tochan is free and is here to spend some time with us." Oh yeah, that is perfect. How about you all three go and prepare yourself, wash yourself, and then get ready so that we can leave." "Okay." As the three of them went inside, Menma and Mito dashed at beginner shinobi pace, while Naruto just walked back to their home. As Minato smiled, as that is when he noticed the sad expression on Kushina's face when she looked towards Naruto. "Kushina, what are you sad about?" Obviously he knew why she was sad, but he wanted to cheer her up. "Our son is fine. He's growing up, isn't he? He's here with us." "Yes, but I'm scared about him. His future. Our enemies, Minato. What if they try to harm him?" "They won't. If they try to, they have to go through us. And this time I won't let this slide. If anything, even a single hair from his head goes missing. I promise you this much, Kushina. And not to tell that his siblings who adore him to death, they too will do anything to make sure that he is well protected." "Yeah, I guess I just worry too much. All because of me. That it wasn't your fault. If it is anyone's, it is that masked person who did this. Thankfully enough, we were able to deal with him. Yeah, I just hope that he stays dead for good. You're worried about his, well, hollow threat that he would come back and all that?" "Yes, Minato. We were always taught to always expect the unexpected. I know, Kushina. And I promise you that he won't come back. Not after what happened. As now we see that as both of the parents were talking to one another and consoling each other, we see that that is when there was a puff of smoke and in came Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sanin and sensei to Minato. Jiraiya-sensei. Oh, Jiraiya, said Kushina. As Jiraiya said, why the long face? I heard that you were going to grab some ramen, so yeah, you were spying on us? Well, for a few moments, I was hoping to drop in at the right time, but I saw that, atmosphere was getting more and more heavy, so to cheer you up, I'm here. As Minato smiled. Thanks, Sensei. But why the sudden visit? Well, yeah, I have a thing of my own that I need to tell you from the clan. Oh, you mean the Toad clan? Yes, kid. What of it? Well, Pa gave me something new to tell you. It even got me my head scratching. What is it? The prophecy, you know? The child of prophecy saving us from a great catastrophe and all that? Yeah? Well, it has been changed. What? What do you mean it has been changed? Kamamaru-sama has been given a prophecy by Kami herself in person. What? Are you sure, Sensei? Well, Pa said that there was a bright light and a feminine voice that was speaking from within, so I guess he's sure. He heard it himself in the night time. I'm not sure, Sensei, if this is possible or not. Kid, this is Shinobi world. We use chakra, which is a force in its own right, to use elemental nature elements as our weapons. So why do you not expect Kami to visit a toad that is, well, more than thousands years of age? I guess anything is possible in Shinobi world. Well, what did you hear? Well, Pa said that. Kami said that there is a child born from the Yellow Flash and Red Death of Konoha that will bring peace and joy everywhere. Even the enemies will turn their sides to him. He will impress everyone because he is blessed by me. A part of my blessing and a part of myself is reincarnated into that boy. Wait, so you mean that our child is also a part of Kami herself? Yes. Who could that be? We have triplets, remember? Maybe it's the three of them, I don't know. Said Jiraiya, as Kushina and Minato only got more confused after hearing this. This is... I don't know what to say, Sensei. This is something I did not expect, said Minato, after having a lot of shock and processing what just Jiraiya told him. As after that we see Jiraiya then said, well, Pa told me to take it easy and, you know, as the children grow, we shall see who the child of prophecy is. I guess he's right about that. As after that, Jiraiya disappeared after saying that he had to do some private training of his own, which obviously they both knew that he was going to go and peep on women, as they went to enjoy their Ichiraku ramen. As now we see, like this, the family stayed together and few years more passed by. We have a time skip up to 3 years later when the 8th birthday of the triplets arrived, as a birthday party was being held at the Uzumaki Namikaze household, where the important people like clan heads and their children alongside with many important shinobis and civilian council members were present. As now we see that even the elders were there as they were watching the next generation, and that is when we see Homura gaze fell upon young Naruto, who was busy reading a book that caught his eye. Well, what do you know? What is it? Said Danzo, as Hiruzen and Koharu, who were sitting there as well, then asked. Yes, tell us. Look towards the youngest of the Uzumaki Namikaze, over there on the corner right side. And the other three elders also looked and were quite surprised. The boy's reading a book, I don't see what's so important about it, said Koharu. Read the title, Koharu, said Danzo. As Koharu's eyes widened what the title said, it was about the economic state and how to improve, and so on and so forth regarding that. My word, a kid at such age reading something so complex that even some adults have hard time understanding. That is something in its own right. You know what? I'm gonna test if that kid really is reading or just pretending to, said Danzo. What are you going to do, Danzo? Oh, nothing much. I know the kid can't use chakra, so Obviously, I have no interest in him having a spar or so on or so anything. Then what is it? I'm going to challenge him in a match of shogi. Huh. Now this ought to be something, said Homura as Koharu also then said, perking up, that this will be interesting. As Hiruzen then said, a little bit worried, okay, but he's a kid, so go easy on him. As Danzo got up, as the party was going on and Minato and Kushina were busy with their friends, as we see, he went towards Naruto. Say, young one, do you understand what book you are reading? Oh, greetings, Danzo-sama. Oh, so you do know who I am. You're an esteemed member and elder of the said village and the council of Konoha. I see. What else do you know? That the second Hokage Tobirama-sama taught you himself, alongside with Hiruzen-sama, the third Hokage, and Koharu and Homura-sama, who are the elders of the village alongside you. You do have your knowledge, kid, I gotta give you that. Say, are you interested in a match of shogi with me? I do know the basic rules and... well, I have read about it, but I haven't never played it, unfortunately. How about this then? We teach you and have some practice match before we really begin. You see that we old people tend to get bored in such gatherings, which are for the young ones. And seeing that you are all by yourself reading such a complex book, I thought that you might be interested in something like this. Okay, Danzo-sama. As now we see, Naruto was sitting now with the elders and legends in their own right of the past, surviving almost 2 wars, as a board of shogi were placed in front of them. As after explaining the game and having some practice matches, we see that Danzo began. It's time to go for real, kid. Are you ready? Yes. As after that we see Naruto watched the board and every move of Danzo and carefully, well, checkmated him and won. Well, I guess I win. Again. As now we see, it almost took 1 hour for Danzo to admit defeat, because Danzo didn't won a single match after that. As now we see, Koharu chuckled. My word, Danzo. It seems the student has become a master in his own right. And no, I was taught, well, by all of you, so I'm grateful. And I'm just, getting started, I guess. Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head. As after hearing his words, they all chuckled, as Danzo then said, You really are interesting, Naruto Uzumaki. The last move that you did, it has been never done before. But it is not a foul, because it is not mentioned in the rules that you cannot use this piece. As after that, we see even Hiruzen was impressed. While this was going on the elders' table with Naruto, who were seemingly looking impressed to Naruto, we see that Minato and Kushina's gaze fell upon, well, that table alongside many of the clan heads. I gotta say, Minato, Danzo is having fun, and that is something creepy in its own right, but why is your youngest near him, and both of them having a match of shogi? That is something that I have wondered too, Inoichi. Well, whatever it is, it seems like the troublesome elders have been giving trouble to your youngest one. He should be with the kids, not with the elders, said Tizumi to Kushina on the other side. Yeah, but I guess Naruto has always been different, always in his own little world reading books. I mean, reading is good, said Hitomi Hyuga, wife of Hiyashi Hyuga. But he should make some friends as well, Kushina. As the parents were worried, we see that on the other side, Naruto had match with both Koharu, Homura, and even with Hiruzen, as all of them were defeated as well. Hiruzen was the only one who came close to winning because of his, years of experience in warfare and tactics, but in the end, even he had to admit defeat. I gotta say, Naruto, I want you to have a match with someone who is even greater player at shogi with me. As that is when we see Hiruzen went out of desk and brought in Shikakunara. So, let me get this straight. You want me to have a match with the kid who has been beating all of you combined for the past hour or two? Well, yes, said Danzo. The kid has some potential that we see in him. And just advice, Nara-san. What is it, Danzo? Don't go easy on the kid. Just because you think he's a kid doesn't mean that he cannot hold on his own. I went all out and even then I was defeated. I was the only one who came close to defeating him, said Hiruzen with a little bit of pride, because he liked to rub in on, Danzo and the others. But even he admitted defeat, which shocked, Shikaku because he has been defeated a few times by Hiruzen-sama. As after sitting down, we see that many of the other clan heads also got quite interested, and so did the younger ones. Mainly those who understand the game, and after Naruto defeated Shikaku in the best of 3, with 3 out of 3 wins, we see that even Minato was shocked. I can't believe this. Shikaku has never lost against any of us. He only lost a few times with Hokage-sama. Well, yeah, I also was defeated by him in the best of 3, and looks like he even defeated Shikaku himself. Well, dang it, kid. I gotta hand it to you. Got some pretty nice skills in tactics and warfare. Who knows? Maybe you might be able to become the next, well, warfare technician in the village later on. I don't believe in war, though. Really? As this interested everyone now. As Danzo then asked, why do you not believe in war? We have been in war 3 times. It starts because of ego, from what I have read throughout the histories of war. Because, well, people and their egos, ego that they have more abilities and powers than the others, and to prove to them they go to war, and many innocents suffer. What about those who are caught in the crossfire? What about those who lost their loved ones? Many orphans were created. And that is why I dislike war, because it creates orphans and revengeful souls. And broken souls. As after that, Danzo was quiet, and so was everyone else. As after that, Naruto looked at the time and said, "Oh, it's already 10 p.m. I gotta go to bed. Sorry." As after that, he grabbed his book and bowed down and left the silent-filled room because it was getting embarrassing for him. While on the other side, we see that Ino, as well as some of the other girls like Hana, who was also there because she was only 3 years older than her brother, and, well, her mother forced her to come there, was quite impressed. I gotta say, that kid has some talent with both words and, well, his brains, said Hana to her Hanimaru brothers. As after that, we see the next day came and birthday came to an end. And then the next day, in the council chamber, Minato was being questioned about Naruto's abilities. You do know that your son possesses extreme talent. Even if he can't use chakra because of his coils being broken, he is extremely genius and a prodigious person. He will bring great fortune and revolution to Konoha, Minato, if he is put to good use, if his abilities are put to good use. I know that too, Danzo, everyone. But he's still a young kid. I don't want him to feel like a child soldier or anything. I want him to live out the best years of his life making friends and memories. Well, we gotta respect his parents' wishes, and if this is something that Naruto wants, then yes, it would be better, said Hiruzen. And so the meeting came to a conclusion. And after only a few days, we see that due to the council still enforcing that Naruto joins the Shinobi Academy alongside his siblings, just so that he could study and learn more about the shinobi, well, shinobis from within, Naruto was enrolled there, and Minato couldn't back it off because they were on his back 24/7. And Kushina thought that it would be better if Naruto was there because while at home someone might attack them, because it has happened once before, and she made sure that the same mistake won't happen ever again after ripping the man's head off completely. As now we see in the academy, Naruto siblings were being hogged over by both, well, males and females, fellowmen of the class, while Shikamaru, Nara, as well as Choji Akamichi and Ino, as well as Sasuke Uchiha, were quite well fond of Naruto and were sitting next to him. And as the years went by, Naruto made them his friends, and they were known as a friend group of their own right. As time went by, Naruto began to notice that Sasuke was beginning to act different and irrational as well. As one day, Naruto asked him, "What is wrong with you, Sasuke? Why are you acting so differently? You wouldn't understand, Naruto." "What is it then?" "Maybe I can help you." "You can't help me, Naruto, with this. It is something with me and my father that I have to do on my own." "What is?" "I have to prove to him that I'm also like Itachi." "But well, you're not." "What do you mean by that?" said Sasuke with narrowed eyes. "You're you. You're Sasuke. He's him. He's Itachi." "You don't understand, Naruto. Itachi has been a prodigious genius that has been called a generational genius that once in a lifetime comes around. Whatever he sees for the first time, he memorizes and does it perfectly. While on the other side, it's completely normal, Sasuke. I mean, there's a lot of things I can't do, and in my eyes, you're cool at least. It's not the same. I just want the approval of my father. Well, then I guess maybe I can help you out a bit. How so? You don't even use chakra. I can't use chakra, but I can help you out to maintain it and use it properly. How so? Well, I have been sneaking off in my father's, library and reading some chakra related books, so maybe I can help you out. As after Naruto started this, journey with Sasuke, within 2 more years, as we see as the graduation came close, at the age of 11, we see that Sasuke was training at the Uchiha's clan compound near the bank, as he was with Naruto, who had a book in his hand, as Naruto was looking at this book in which Sasuke has copied down a jutsu known as Phoenix Flower Jutsu from the Uchiha archives. You know that this might be a dangerous jutsu and it requires a lot more chakra. From what I have been keeping track of, more than 80% of your chakra will be used, Sasuke. I have to try this. Nisama did this within 2 days. I have to try this, Naruto. Well, you have to first expand your chakra pool a little bit more. Really? Yeah. Do the chakra exercises for a few more days, then we can begin. As unknown to them, we see that 2 people were watching this from shadows, as both of them were none other than Itachi Uchiha and his best friend Shisui Uchiha. Well, what do you have thought, Itachi? Looks like your little brother has a, friend of his own who is helping him out. I guess so. I am proud of him, but I hate the fact that he is stealing jutsus without anyone asking anyone. Well, he's not stealing, he's just borrowing them. I mean, the original scrolls are there, but still it could be dangerous, says Itachi with narrowed eyes. How about we keep an eye on them, and if it gets dangerous, we'll get involved. Fine. As now we see, after a few days of doing chakra exercises, Sasuke tried it, and after failing up for a few times, Sasuke succeeded. And after he did, we see that Itachi jumped down. As he was about to intervene, he first heard what Naruto said. You use too much chakra, Sasuke. More than 80% of your chakra is still being used. How can you be so sure? I calculated. And Itachi and Shisui both were impressed. See? Look at your hands, they're shaking as well. You're low at chakra right now. Suggest we stop training here. No, I can still go on. I think you should listen to your friend, Sasuke, said a voice that was familiar to Sasuke as he turned around to find his older brother there. Itachi-ni-san. As Itachi was looking at him with narrowed eyes. I can't believe this. First of all, you didn't tell anyone and borrowed jutsus without notifying anyone, and not to tell A-rank ones as well. And young Naruto, I don't believe this for one bit, but I'm disappointed in you as well. I'm sorry, Itachi-san. I thought better of you. You could have at least told us as well. He's my friend. I wouldn't snitch on him. I'm happy to know that, but still, you should have warned us, at least. What if he could have died or something? I was doing the maths. It isn't about maths as always, Naruto. He could have died. Look at him, he's trembling after using the jutsu once, even if it was a success, which I'm quite happy and proud of with him. The Sasuke's eyes widened as he was about to smile, but he still has to go through punishment. So both of you are coming with me. Shisui, go get Kushina Oba-sama, as well as inform the Hokage-sama. Are you sure about this? You think it is? Now, fine, I'm going. As Shisui went to get Naruto's parents, we see that back at Uchiha compound clan head house, Fugaku and Mikoto were seated there on the other side, as both Naruto and Sasuke were sitting on the other side, as both Minato and Kushina arrived as well. We got here fast as we could. And what is this I hear, Naruto? You have been, taking notes from the chakra scrolls? I warned you not to use them. I didn't use them on myself, though. Then why? To help out my friend. As Minato's eyes widened. Really? But it could have been dangerous, you know. What if you told him something wrong and he would have gotten hurt? I saw how Menma-nisan and Mito-nisan did it, so I helped him out. That isn't the point, young one, said Fugaku. The point is that what you did was wrong. And not only you did wrong, Sasuke, you also did wrong as well. While I'm proud at the fact that you are working hard, son, you have to also know What you are doing behind our back without telling us is also dangerous and could have gotten you harmed or worse, killed. And that is why both of you are punished. As Minato also noted, of course, you are banned to visit Sasuke for 1 month and to attend the academy as well, Naruto. As now we see, Naruto was now at home, going through his punishment, and within that time span, Naruto got so bored that he was almost lazing around every now and then. And then, one day, while he was sleeping, he had vision. A dream that was similar to a vision. He was in all his senses, but not in elemental nation. He was somewhere else. As unbeknownst to him, he also could understand the language that was mentioned there. It was not what was they called kanjis. It was different. As Naruto even knew what they were. They were alphabets that made into words. As Naruto was currently in a state known as United States of America, with a flag that was flying above him, and he was standing near a reactor. As Naruto was amazed by it and its potential. As now we see Naruto waking up with his eyes wide as he was panting heavily and his whole body was covered in sweat. What? What was that? I don't understand. Was that a dream or something? But why do I remember everything from that dream? So Naruto grabbed a book that was laying around and a pen and wrote down each and every bit of detail that was well seen by him in his dream. And after writing down the design and what it does and how to create it, that was somehow being known to him, we see that Naruto closed it down. I don't believe this. How do I remember all of this? And this thing, arc reactor. How do I know this will help us? As now we see, Naruto's words, as he said these, were heard by the parent Minato Namikaze, who was standing at the open door. What did you do, Naruto? To-chan, can you come here? I think I might have been going crazy. What do you mean by that? Last night I had a dream, but it was so real that I remember everything. What do you mean by that, Naruto? Look here. As Minato was impressed by the design and what it was saying, as Naruto explained everything to him. As after being done explained, Minato then said, I don't know what to say, Naruto. Are you sure that this will work? I've seen it working, To-chan, and it did wonder. It is the most dangerous weapon if it is weaponized, but it is also the most peaceful source of power if it is utilized perfectly. Not only Konoha, whole land of fire, no, maybe the whole elemental nation can be powered by it. Are you sure? Yes. But I don't think I might be able to build it. Why so, son? I'm not sure if this dream is real or not. What if it is not and it doesn't work? Are you afraid of failure? Yes. You shouldn't be, because they are the learning steps, son. Always remember. As after that we see, Minato smiled and then had an idea. If this is the thing to the future, I might have to help him out. Maybe he is the child of prophecy that Sensei mentioned, bringing peace and joy everywhere, turning enemies into allies. You know what, son? Said Minato after thinking that for a bit. Can you hand that book to me? I'm gonna show this to the council and tell them everything that you explained. As now we see, an emergency council meeting was, well, announced, and after Minato showed them the design and everything was explained to them, they were all in stunned silence. Are you sure about this, Minato? Well, to be honest, I trust my son, and I am sure that this will work. Because Naruto might be the one Sensei mentioned. As Hiruzen's eyes widen, are you sure about that, Minato? I think I am now, he said with a smile. Alright then. And the next day, the village pulled out funds from the daimyo after explaining this to him. And as soon as they did, Naruto was called and informed by his father, who was shocked and now felt a huge responsibility on him, but his father told him it was okay. And he was also given confidence by the council, because Danzo and the other elders as well as many of the councilmen knew that Naruto had the potential. As now we see, 1 year passed after that, as all of the current young generation reached at the age of 13. While the kids graduated from the academy, Naruto did something. As soon after the graduation was done and the new shinobi squadron was found, Naruto's new creation that was revolutionary was announced to the whole Land of Fire and to Konoha, even to the other nations and other villages, which was shocking to all of them. As Naruto had created a new source of energy that can power all of their villages without needing to worry about anything forever. It was an endless energy source that Naruto created after modifying the design on his own, after having some more visions after that within that year. As Naruto was about to deliver the speech, we see that he was quite nervous. "Everything is fine, son. You can do this." As Naruto then went to stage in front of everyone where the Hokages were announced, as Naruto then said, "Greetings Konoha and everyone. My name is Naruto Uzumaki no Mikaze, and I thought of this, reactor. It's an arc reactor that is a pure form of energy. It is endless, and it can go on and on and on. And it can also be a power source for not only Konoha, Land of Fire, but different lands and as well as the whole elemental nation. And it is pollution free, so our chakra systems can never be damaged. We no longer have to rely on coal power plants anymore. That damages our atmosphere and our chakra nature reserves. And by the orders of the daimyo as well as the blessing of the Hokage and the council, I'm confident enough to share this not only with Konoha and the Land of Fire, but with the other nations as well." As after hearing his speech and as this news spread out like wildfire, we see that the other nations were quite interested to meet with the young genius who came up with this. As soon as Naruto's arc reactor was placed, the connections were given out, and after a former deal was struck and the delegations were sent, the whole layout was designed. And soon as the arc reactors began to pump out the power to other nations, they were quite shocked at how stable the power was, because they before had power outages in some villages like Iwa, Kiri, as well as in Suna, but now they didn't have any. As now we see, as soon as the next Kage summit came, which was mandatory after a few years, Naruto was, must to be brought by Konoha, so Naruto arrived with his father. As now we see Naruto sitting with the leaders of all of villages, shinobi villages. As from Iwagakure, it was Tsuchikage Oniki himself. As from Mizugakure, we see the Mizukage, Mei, and from Kumo it was Raikage A, and from finally Suna it was Rasa. As not only them, but the daimyos were also listening in from the all nations, as they all begin their speak with Naruto one by one. "So kid, what else are your plans in the future?" I wish to make the world a better place, I guess. I'm currently busy working on something that might improve living conditions now. What do you mean by that? It's like this, a huge cylindrical building in which many apartments can be made, and almost more than 1,000 people can be with their families can live there. As everyone's eyes widen after hearing this, "Are you sure that such a huge structure will be able to hold itself?" "Yes, I have been working on how to make sure that this is stable in each and every harsh environment that there is offered by the elemental nation, and I have come to a conclusion." As after Naruto showed that how mixing chakra metal and so many other metals, combining them and using them together to form bases as well as the buildings, how this will work, everyone was impressed. I'm certainly impressed by this. What do you say how strong this would be? I say it can take a, head-on attack from maybe even the Nine Tails itself, said Naruto, as they were impressed by that. "You know what, kid, you certainly are interesting," said A with a smirk on his face, which meant that Naruto has earned his trust. As Mei was also quite, interested in this. Since living conditions in Mizu were quite poor, this would certainly help their village up. And so could be said for Konoha, since the population was ever increasing. But not only they were impressed, the Land of Fire, the other lands, and their daimyos were also impressed, because this was cheap, convenient, and could also store a lot of families in one building, in one location, making other locations available for more business and for more ventures. As soon after that, Naruto began to answer some other questions by the others, and as much as he answered, they were all impressed, and they were also hoping to get more and more out of the kid for their village and form a bond with him. But most of the all shocking was Oniki. Why are you doing this? You do know that my whole village hates your father. Why are you helping us? I mean, I get that you're helping the others, but why us? I don't believe in war. I mean, think about it. Why did you start the war? We started the war? Well, technically, kind of you did. Even I can't answer that question. See? You don't even remember why the war was started, and yet you fought. Yet you hated. Both sides lost a lot of people, and many vengeful souls still remain. Many people who were caught in the crossfires. Nobody talks about them. As Oniki remained quiet, and so did the others. So why fight war? As everyone was stunned silent after hearing this coming out of the kid who was 13 years of age, and there were them, veterans from even war, surviving even that most disastrous situations in the elemental nation. The kid has a point, said Mei Terumi. As Oniki then said, I know. I see it now. Go ahead, kid. I promise you that Eva won't harm anything as long as you visit and do whatever you wish to do. So after that, Naruto went on a trip of his own, as it was a 3-year of training trip, as Naruto returned at the age of 16. But as he returned after 3 years of time skip, each and every village has been improved to the point that they were the better version of themselves. Naruto gave them a plan layout as well as helped them out in the beginning months, and after they all learned, Naruto was moving on to the next village to help them out. While also traveling, he was helping out the minor villages left and right. And unbeknownst to him, he even helped out his enemies, such as, well, the Rinnegan user Pain, or the head of the Akatsuki known as, well, Fake Madara. Naruto even helped them by counseling them and even giving them the answers that they needed to hear the most. And surprisingly enough, they were able to change tenfold. And there was only one sour person in the whole reality, and that was none other than Zetsu himself, because he was doing all this madness. The suffering that he created was to free his mother, and now that all suffering has been eradicated, and he thought that his brother has somehow again won, and he was back at zero all those years ago where he began the first war. No matter how many he tried to start skirmishes, they won't happen. The matter will be resolved, and instantly it was raised, thanks to the system Naruto created, and this was getting on his nerves, as Naruto even in his dream was met by Kaguya herself, and Naruto was able to resolve the matter between her and the Sage Soul as well as Homura Soul, his brother's soul. Naruto acted as a counselor for them and even was able to help them out get over their differences and become a family again. And so Kaguya stopped her son Zetsu, who was there. As for Kaguya, she was freed from her prison because she no longer held any grudge or hatred. And so she ventured toward the other Otsuzukis and told her of Naruto and how he changed him. And surprisingly enough, after they too met with Naruto through Kaguya, they too began to change and begin to harvest chakra in the form of like farming as chakra farms in Otsutsuki planet where they resided, and begin to live out a humble life there without threatening any others. And Naruto at the age of 18 was able to bring peace unbeknownst to him while trying to just work hard as he could to well help out as many people as he could, because that was his goal. Unbeknownst to him, he was able to make all of the people love him, as he became the most beloved person in the whole elemental nations, loved by all people from all sectors. Even the enemies now turned into his allies, such as Eva, the whole village who hated his father's gut to the core, was now a fan of him. But not his father though, but of him as well. And as for the past hatred and grudges, they all finally died down. And as for Obito, the fake Madara, he was finally able to move on and settle down with a civilian girl who he finally met. She kind of resembled Rin, so you know where this is going. and also her name was also written, so yeah, that was a plus. And as for Nagato and Conan, they finally settled down. As for Sasori as well as Deidara, both of them teamed up and became performers, performing around everywhere, showing the people their art. And as for Kakazu, he became in charge of Takigakura's security and, well, owned a bank because he was in love with money. And on the other side, Deidara, Idan, he tried to run a temple, but that went down the drain, so yeah, he became evil and in the end he was executed. As for the others, they all live happy. And as for Naruto, he came to the biggest challenge now, because he now had 3 marriage proposals. One was straight from the Tsuchikage himself about his granddaughter, Kuretsuchi, who has become best friends with Naruto, but surprisingly enough, Naruto Shock had a crush on him. As on the other side, there was, well, Hana Inuzuka, and then there was Ino Yamanaka. So, to make sure that there was no fight, a CRA was placed on Naruto and he had to marry the 3 of them. But Naruto was still shocked that the best friends that he thought he had were in love with him actually. And he wouldn't be shocked if Sasuke one day turned up and said he loved him. As in one night while he was dreaming, he really did had a dream. But then he found out that he was reading a BL manga about him and Sasuke being written down by a stupid fan in, well, America. As after that we see, Naruto then said, God, thank God that was a nightmare. America really is a weird place filled with a lot of weird people who had weird fantasies. And it's also a place that I'm thankful for, well, all the ideas and changes that they brought here. As after that we see the story of Naruto, who brought everyone together, came to a close. But story of a Naruto who had to go through a lot of now love and other stuff was about to begin. But that's a story for another time. As this is Apollo Uchiha and I'm signing off for the day. Peace.